Hi, and welcome. This is Grandmother Dances in the Night Skies, and I got a squirmy little girl with me right now. And you're going to find out what this is all about in just a moment. This little girl, her name is Zena, and she's 8 weeks old. She also has another little girl here. Her name is Panda. She's black and white, and she's also 8 weeks old. But we'll get to that in just a moment. Today's topic is answering the call of spirit. What does that mean? I'm always getting messages. What is spirit? And how do you answer it? And how do you know it's talking to you? So let's talk about all those fun things right now. So, answering the call to spirit, what does that mean? For me, I can only speak for myself because every person has their own way of connecting. But just tap into that energy. When was the last time you just felt that you knew you had to do something? You didn't know why you knew it. You just had the call. You just felt the pull. Oh, I'm supposed to go there. Maybe it's moving jobs. Maybe it's moving locations. Maybe it's getting involved in a relationship, or in my case, getting a little kitten. What is your call when you feel that? And how does your body feel when you are getting that call? So I'm going to go back, way back when, a few years ago, quite a few years ago. So when I was little, I can remember the first time that I remembered feeling that call, that energetic call. I would say I was probably, I would say 8 years old in that area. And I was I was getting the call to start standing on the top of my horse. I didn't know why I had to stand on the horse. I'd always rode on it. And yeah, I was basically raised on a horse, laying on them and doing all this stuff. But I was called to suddenly start standing on it and riding the horse as I was standing up and allowing that momentum flowing. I didn't know why. That information that I got, that practice that I got, which I did totally on my own with no training, no nothing, just out in the field doing it on my own. When I got to the point where I was invited to join the team, the opening ceremonies of rodeos, that's exactly what we did. Then we did the trick riding, and I already had the basic skills, the basic knowledge of that connection with an animal, with a horse, and that basic connection because I had answered Spirit's call without even knowing it. So then I could take the training to get into what I wanted. That's just one example. Now we're going to go way back when, and we're going to come back now into closer into this lifetime. So I'm going to talk about my job. So I had gone to school, I'd gone to Grant McEwen, and I had now I was in my 30s, so I wasn't a young chickie. So I went in my 30s and I graduated Grant McEwen. And I graduated visual presentation. And what that means is it's prop making and display work and all that kind of stuff. That's what I was doing. And I saw an ad in the paper looking for somebody to sculpt and work on mascots. I thought, how cool would that be? So I went into the job. Now I was doing freelance work. So I went into the job, had the interview, and the interview was like, I mean, they were offering me a way low wage and there was no benefits and all the things that I did not want. And I came home and I declined the job and I went home and I sat there. But I had that overwhelming feeling. That's where you're supposed to be. I can't tell you how else. I just knew that's where I was supposed to be. Now, they were in the process of still interviewing people. I was very presumptuous when I picked up the phone and I called them back. And I said, "Hey, I just want you to know that I'm supposed to work for you." Like, that's pretty presumptuous to say, but it was in my heart. I couldn't even explain it anymore. And I said, "I am willing to take the lower wage because I know I am supposed to be there. When do you want me to start?" That's very aggressive, and yet I don't know, I think I might have shocked them, and they said, "You can start on Monday morning." So I had the weekend to get prepared to go to my new job, and when I went in there, it was exactly what I was supposed to be doing. And I was there for a couple of years, and did you know that and then I left and I started my own mascot company, and I've been doing mascots on my own for 35 plus years, and so I have a mascot company because I was told that's where I needed to go. That's what I needed to learn. That's what I needed to do. And it actually sustained me and has supported me for over 35 years. That's that answering of call. And I can guarantee you, back in the 30s, when I was in my 30s, I didn't really understand spirit at all. I had no real quote connection to spirit. I didn't feel that I was spiritual in any way. I was just a person trying to survive, doing the best I could. And I didn't think of anything else. But I didn't realize that was answering spirit's call. Now we're going to come a little bit closer up here. I go through all my training and all this stuff. First off, I wake up one morning and I'm told, now you need to go and find a power animal. You need to get out there. You need to go to your drum circle. And I'm going, I don't know what a drum circle is. I asked my husband, do you know what a drum circle is? He goes, well, yeah, I do. Or well, I don't. Sorry. He says, no, I don't. And so off I went anyway to this drum circle. I thought we were just going to be playing drums. But what it was is I met my power animal that night and it changed my life. Had I not been answering that call to go to drum circle, even though I didn't know what a drum circle was, I didn't have a drum and nobody that I knew anything about it. But the opportunity and the ad showed up right in front of me right at the right time. So I answered the call and I did it. I did that for, oh my gosh, that's when I started getting involved with my power animals. And then I started journeying every day. So I downloaded journeys and went to Sandra Ingram, who has a wonderful videos on it. So I went and I did all that and every day. And I still to this day journey every day. It's not something I just tell you to do, something I do myself because it fills my heart and connects me to spirit and sets me up for success throughout the day. But that's answering that call. And then I went and I started, now's the time to seek out the teacher. Oh, what does that mean? So I went and I fought, okay, I'm going to find someone about shamanism, expecting it to be just information on shamans and shamanism itself and the Mayans. I didn't know that it was healing. But I stepped into it anyway, and I got my stuff, and I did my healing, and I broke all that down, and I became more and more aware of who I was. And then I get the call, now you need to be the teacher. That terrified me, scared me. Who am I? I'm just me. I'm not anything special. How can I be a teacher? I don't measure up to what everyone else that I believe looks like a proper teacher in this stuff. I'm just going, oh my God, I'm blowing smoke up everybody's butt here because I don't know what I'm doing and how can I trust myself? But the more I got into the teachings, the more that I understood what I needed to share. And my first couple classes that I put on were kind of a disaster, but I just kept doing it more and more and more. And as I started believing and as I started trusting myself, my skill level has improved and I am evolving into the teacher that I should be, not that I want to be. There's a difference. If I want to, then I'm sitting in ego. But if I should be, and I'm just allowing my essence self to shine the way it's supposed to and not try to direct it, just allow it to be, that's sitting in spirit self. That's just that beautiful connection between spirit and me, and it'll be as it will be. That's what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to go forward into just a few weeks ago. So about a month ago, now my husband and I have had a pat with each other 2 years ago. No more pets. I'm a pet crazy person, so I love to have lots of animals around me. And we got two kittens, just over 2 years ago. And my husband said, Karen, you promised me no more animals because we have to outlive our animals. And I said, you know what? I agree with you. That's a right thing. And so anyway, about a month ago, I started getting the call. You need to get a kitten. You need to get a kitten. I'm going, ooh, that's going to be a tough one to sell to my husband. So I kind of brought it to his attention. He brought it to my attention. You promised. And I agreed with him. You're absolutely correct. I won't do that. And I even brought it up to other people around me. This is the deal I made with Charlie. I know that I shouldn't have a kitten. Why would I bring that up? Because our insides, our spirit self knows before our brain self kicks in. So it was already preparing the energetics to line that baby kitten up with coming into me. It was already in the works without me understanding it. That's that spirit call. So now all of a sudden I get this overwhelming feel about, oh, I'd say about 2 days, maybe a day, 2 days before I got my first kitten. So I woke up in the morning and I went, huh, you've got a kitten coming to you. I'm thinking, okay, what does that mean? You got a kitten coming to you, got a kitten coming to you. And it was just a feeling I was getting that, if you talk to yourself, it felt like that I was just getting that internal spin. You got a kitten coming to you. And of course, I'm arguing with spirit. They cannot have a kitten coming to me because I made this deal and my husband is not going to go for this. And he would be right. So anyway, I'm in on the community pages, and all of a sudden this page pops up. There's this cute little black and white kitten. I actually didn't show her, but her name is Panda. So there's this cute little black and white kitten. It was abandoned. Three of them were abandoned in a box on in a little town on the store steps. And they showed one had already found a home, and they showed these two, and they said, "We really need. We're closing up. We cannot take the kittens, and we are going to set them free if nobody comes because they cannot come home with us." And I showed it to my husband and I said, "What do you think?" And he goes, "Oh, for God's sakes, Karen." He says, "Yeah, go ahead, get the kitten." So I messaged them on Facebook and I didn't get a response. So I thought, I'm going to phone them because I don't want this opportunity to miss. I don't want them setting them free. So I phoned them. And as I was speaking to them on the phone, a different person came in and they took one of the kittens. That left one left. So I went and picked up that other kitten, convinced that that was the kitten that was coming to me. I was wrong. It wasn't. So that's fine. I got the kitten and I'm all happy, happy, happy. I got the kitten. I go out the very next day and I go and I get kitten food and all the things that kittens need. And I'm getting all that stuff. And I come home and throughout the day, I did a whole bunch of things. We played with the kitten and everything's wonderful. And then I get out the very next day and I'm going to go for a hot tub. And as I'm getting ready to go for a hot tub, I hear this screaming, like it's horrible screaming. And I'm looking around thinking that one of the cats outside was wounded or hurt. And this little baby came up from underneath my deck onto my stairs and literally jumped in my arms. That's the kitten I showed you. We call her Xena. So when whoop, a kitten just ran past me. So when Xena came in, she was immediately on my chest, hanging on me. And I walked in the house and I said, "Honey," I said, "look what I found." And he couldn't believe it because the coincidences were really close. And I can see it. He kind of thought maybe when I'd gone into town to get all the kitten food, I snafu'd another kitten. Or he thought that maybe when I answered an ad or something, and that somehow I had just kept it in the shop or kept it hidden from him till just now. And I honest to God did not. So I tried to explain this to him, and he was kind of in the back of his mind thinking, yeah, I scammed him, right? And so I contacted the neighbors, and here we had found out that that little kitten 2 days prior was down by the creek all by itself. And then it had showed up in my neighbor's yard. They did feed it, but they're farmers and don't believe that animals should be in the house, and they just dismissed it. Yeah, we'll throw food to it, and if it lives, great. If it doesn't, nature's call. And so now I had it over at my house, and I told her, I said, well, we are taking it in. When I took it to the vet, I found out that both the kittens are both about 8 weeks old. They don't know for sure because they were both abandoned, and they are now part of our family. So we named Panda because she's black and white, and she's kind of a roly-poly little girl. And then we named Xena because she's very confident in herself. She is the first to do anything, and she's just a go-getter. So we thought that Xena was an appropriate one. She had to fight for her first few days of life. She was starving when she showed up. She was filthy dirty. She does not like baths, by the way. And that is how I answered that call. So now I'm going to ask you to stop for a moment and take a look inside you. When were the times that you answered the call without even knowing what you were doing? Where you had that call, I'm supposed to do, I'm just supposed to do, without knowing what it is you're supposed to do, but you followed through. Or did fear stop you from following through, or circumstances stop you from following through? don't worry if that happened. That opportunity will always come around again if you were meant to do it. But maybe, just maybe, you're getting that cycle showing up over and over and over, but you're a little bit afraid to walk through that. Then I would ask you to surrender to it and allow it to develop, just like allowing my teaching to develop. I'm just allowing it to be as it will be. I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to make it happen. Do you ever get that calling? I'm supposed to move. I'm supposed to whatever. I always take it at least 24 hours or 48 hours to really sit within it. Is it something that you want, or is it something that actually is being called to you? There's a difference. Sometimes my ego self, I will want something, and I'm a compulsive shopper. So if I see something, I'll buy something instantly. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that deep soul self. So really look inside, and it's fun if you could make a chart of it and you could see where you answered Spirit's call. But you can also, on the bottom of that line, write when you did not answer Spirit's call, and then go up where you answered Spirit's call and down where you didn't answer Spirit's call. And then watch that timeline go through. And then how did you feel about that? And we then can tap into that energy. So the next time you get that inclination, that intuition, that beautiful flow, you will know that Spirit calling you. Tap into it. I would say journey with it, meditate to it, ask it what's going on, allow yourself to daydream about it, and then answer the call how you see fit. But don't be afraid to just, it's okay to move forward. Okay. So that is answering Spirit's call. I hope that helps you. And if you have any questions, please, for heaven's sakes, just give me a shout. info@shamanicreiki.ca. I'd be happy to help you out. Check my website out, shamanicreiki.ca. I don't know, I think it's .ca. And then my YouTube channel, of course, you're watching. And I also have Facebook called um, Shamanic Teaching and Healing Services. It's a private group, but you'd be happy to join. There's no sign up or anything like that. You just got to ask to join, and we'll let you in. And what we do there is just talk about all this kind of stuff and more. So anyway, I hope that helped. My name is Karen, Grandmother Dances in the Night Skies. And don't forget, don't be afraid to answer the call, because Spirit's always with you. You're never alone. Aho.